Hey yo, what up, Alpha Squadron? We out here in Vermont hunting for Howard. Um, but before we do that, might as well cube epic vlog the third, I think. Um, Fun fact, I have not been practicing. I started practice pretty much today. I haven't been practicing, so I'm kind of screwed. Uh, I'm gonna do a solve session of each until I beat my comp PB single. I just did 2x2 and it took like 26 attempts to beat my PB, so I have like 5 solves. So am I gonna get a new PB in 2x2? Probably not. 3x3, I had a really lucky scramble, so I should have gotten it first try, but my cube is turning really slow and it's got a lot of gunk in there. So I think we're gonna clean it out and then re-lube it. We got some good old D&M 37. What should we clean it with? We got a cloth, got coffee, we got towels, Kleenex. I don't know. I say get the Kleenex. Gonna disassemble this bad boy and get the gunk out. The good thing about cubes is they make good phone stands, so it doesn't take me 5 minutes to find a way to get a camera handle. Gotta love resetting up your cube the day before a competition, so you're not used to how it feels. That's got a lot of. Oh, look at how awful that is spinning. We got a lot of gunk to clean out. So I'll be back when the gunk is gone. What is up, Alpha Squadron? I did manage to get the gunk out and re-lube the cube. It is also the next day when the competition is over and I am back home. I'm not a very naturally born vlogger, so I didn't really end up doing any vlogging other than the 2-minute thing I did in the hotel room. I do got, the fam who filmed my solves, so we can take a look at those. Gonna be doing a breakdown, sort of how things went. As I said before in the hotel, it might have been a bit complicated or weird because I'm not good at saying things sometimes. But I did not really practice for this competition. I kind of signed up months ago, and by the time it came, I was completely rusty. Started practicing the day before the competition. My cubes were not, set up properly. They were all a bit gunky, not properly set up, so I had to set them up and, get used to their feeling the day before the competition. So I did not have things going for me. And how do you think that turned out? Well, as you can see, I PB'd in every event I competed in, so maybe that's the strategy. Don't practice, don't have things set up, and you'll succeed and destroy all your records. Um, how did this happen? I don't know. I mean, I think I knew the possibility was there, but I didn't expect it to actually happen because I was out of practice and so many things could have gone wrong. But nah, I just decided to PB in every event. Alright, might as well. I suppose let's just jump into it. I take a look at some of these bad boys. The first event is 2x2. Don't know why it shows 3 by 3 first, but whatever. So, 2 by 2, unfortunately, the only one we didn't get a new best single, but we still PB'd the average, so that's pretty nice. Pretty decent. Well, it is a PB average, so obviously it's solid for me, but it's very, very consistent. We got a 6.6, my best solve of the competition being a 5.81. Then a 6.51, 6.53, 6.19 for a 6.41 average, beating my old average by, like, what is that? About, I don't know exactly, about 0.5 seconds, which is pretty solid considering it's already very low and hard to improve in, because I'd say 2 by 2 is my best event. I already have pretty solid times in it, so improving in 2 by 2 is hard unless I actually learn something new, which I'm probably gonna do eventually, but you know me. If I'm not gonna even practice for months, am I gonna actually learn something new? You never know. Guess another notable thing about this average is my old best average is a 6.88, and all of these solves are completely under 6.88. So it's not like, we had a couple bad solves, then a couple good ones, then a couple decent ones. Now we had all good solves that were under my old best average. Let's take a look at it. My old average was back in 2019. We had a 6.2, 6.3, 6.9, then 2 7s. So, we kind of had 2 bad solves and then 1 decent solve, another decent solve, 1 okay solve, and that was the average. But this time we all have pretty solid solves for all of them, so that's pretty nice. Now for 3 by 3, which just went absolutely insane. So if you have a look, 3 by 3, my PB single, I got it the last competition I went to, 2101. My average this competition is a 19.58. So my average is better than my PB single. So that's pretty good, The whole might as well put the whole average under the single, not try to beat the average, try to beat the single with the average. So we beat my PB average by 6 seconds, which, when you're talking about cubing, fractions of a second make a big difference, so 6 whole seconds is kind of crazy. And for the single, I mean, I got a 16.28, which is kind of mad for me at least. Chris Martin, station 6. Got a PLL skip, which, if you don't know, basically for the last step of solving, there's a 1 in 72 chance that you just completely skip the step, which I got that. So, And I got it on a decent solve as well, because sometimes you just get a skip when it's a bad solve, and you're like, why? This solve is trash. Why would you give me a skip? But I actually got it in a decent solve, which gave me a 1628, which is a very good competition time for me, obviously, since my previous best was a 21. Actually, for this whole average was insane. My first solve got a 20.92, so I already beat my PB single. Then the second solve, I get a 19.57. Obviously, my first ever sub 20 in competition. Gotta be the 57. So I get my first sub 20. That's pretty hype. I'm, I'm happy with that. Then next solve, just get the 1628. Might as well go crazy. I already, at this point, I'm like, okay, I could get a sub 20 average. What's going on? My best average is a 25, and I'm about to get a sub 20 average. Then I get the 18.25 to solidify the average. Might as well. Let's go. And then finished it off with a 21.13, which isn't even bad. Like my best competition solve was a 21.01 before this event. So a 21.13, not even bad. And also this 21, I think it would have been like a 19, but I messed up the cross and had to like put in a piece or something that wasted like 2 seconds. So that could have been like a 19, and I could have had all of every single one of my solves be lower than my previous PB, and that would have been even crazier, but it's already pretty crazy that that happened. Don't know how that happened. I don't know. I don't think I've put this anywhere, but I actually got on camera a while ago, I think my all-time 3x3 PB, not in competition. Anyway, I'll just show that because might as well throw that footage out there.
8 seconds.
Wait. Will I ever get a 13 in a competition? Probably not, but honestly, it's possible if I actually put in the effort. Because, like, this competition, I put in no effort and got sub 20 average with 16. So if I actually learn more stuff and practice a lot, I can easily improve. But it's just a matter of can I be asked? And not really. Like, if you want to make yourself feel bad, just look at the ranking for this competition. So this competition, probably my best competition ever. I improved all of, I PB'd in every event, obviously. But then if you just look at the rankings that I got, that's just a quick way to demotivate yourself. Let's take a look. 2x2, my best event. I got 33rd place out of 49. 3x3 got 39th out of 56. 4x4 got 41 out of 50, and clock 34 out of 37. So that's a quick way to demotivate yourself, but I don't really care about placements because that's not what I'm going for. Who cares? Obviously, I'm not going to win. Literally, the 2x2 world record average holder was there. Like, I'm not winning in any universe, in any event. So that's why it's kind of like, is it worth it to actually spend hours and hours grinding? Because I do want to improve for myself, but the amount of work it takes for me to not even like be anywhere ranked. Is it worth it? Probably not. When I can sort of just improve very slowly by just, I don't know, practicing and not learning super long stuff. Anyways, let's go into 4x4, which, I mean, it's 4x4. Uh, started off, well, my old PB I also got last competition I went to was a 4x4 is a weird mess. I need to talk about this. Alright. My first time doing 4x4, I got a 2 minute 56-second .46. This next one, I improved my 4x4 PB by literally .33 seconds out of a 3 minute solve. Exactly .33 out of in a 3 minute solve. How does that happen? Like, I'd understand if like 2x2 something happened like that, where you get a casual like .33 improvement, but in a 3 minute solve, how does that happen? That is exact. And then the stupidest thing, I got a big improvement. My next competition by 30 seconds, I improved. And then the next one, it happened again. Like a .6 or whatever out of a 2.5 minute solve. 2.5 minutes, and it ends up being .6 faster. How does that happen? And how does it happen twice? What's going on there? I don't know. Then, obviously got the 151, which was sub 2 minutes, I guess. And we secured the 133, which is decent. So, not, oh, I forgot to mention, for 3x3, this time, my single and average are now below the 4x4 world records. Let's go. So now the 4x4 world record single is slower than my 3x3 single, and the world record 4x4 average is slower than my 3x3 average. So that's something. I can now say that, or I can no longer say that people can solve a 4x4 faster than I can solve a 3x3. So that's pretty nice and comforting somewhat. And now I can say that I can solve a 4x4 faster than like the world record 7x7, which isn't actually that one's not as comforting, but at least I can say it. Whereas when I was 150, I couldn't say that. But we're getting somewhere. Then I also had a 2 minute solve. We don't need to talk about this one. I had a bad start, and I already knew from that it was gonna be a bad solve. And when you know you're gonna do bad and you're in the middle of a solve, it's just gonna make things worse. And so it did, and it just kept getting worse. And I really wanted to just DNF and stop the solve because I knew I wasn't gonna make the cutoff anyway. So I was like, might as well just quit. But I didn't. I stuck it through to the end and um, just finished it because might as well. And got a 212, which isn't good. but at least we got the 133, which is somewhat decent. I want to give a little demonstration now. Try and get some more better light. I think I'm making it worse. Oh, that's not good. But that's not good. Alright, so little demonstration on why 4x4 is so much longer than 3x3. Obviously, it's a bigger puzzle, so it's gonna take longer, but like over a minute longer is a bit mad, so figured might as well give a little explanation as to where I think at least my problem lies. So on the 3x3, after your first step, you got the cross. So now what you're left with is 16 pieces that are moving around kind of as you're solving it, and you need to look through those 16 pieces for the ones you need. And then you can continue with the next steps and so on. So, 16 pieces. It's not too bad. That's manageable. You know, I'm not very advanced, so I might pause a few times, but I it's manageable, I can deal with that fairly easily. Now, 4x4, after your first step of the first two centers, you got 48 pieces that are moving around, and you need to find the certain ones that go together. Now, 16 pieces versus 48 pieces, I'm already, have to pause a bit when I'm looking through the 16. When I have to look through 48 pieces, it's the pauses are just so bad. It's gonna take forever. I mean, technically, not all the pieces are used in the next step, but you still see them, and it's color that's changing, whereas it's not like the centers and these edges, they don't move, so they're always gonna stay the same, whereas these centers, they're all moving and stuff, and it's just more distracting, so it makes it harder when there's 48 moving pieces changing colors all the time, and you gotta find certain ones. It's a mess, and you just gotta get lucky, for me at least, but I'm improving at least. Started off at 3 minutes, and we've cut that time down in half. Fun fact, my next competition, I'm actually only doing 4x4 because it's the only puzzle I can confidently solve that's at that competition. For some reason, competition is only hosting 4x4, 5x5, 6x6, 7x7 Mega Minx, and then 4x4 and 5x5 blindfolded. So I'm not going to be doing any of that. I'm going to stick with 4x4 because think about how big the jump is for me to go from 3x3 to 4x4. So imagine me going from 4 to 5. Like, I can solve 5x5, sort of, but I don't want to imagine how long I'd be there. Like, I don't want to sit there for 5 minutes and waste everyone's time. I know it's a very accepting community, the cubers, and no one would be mad at me, but I would just not want to do that. So I don't think I'm ever gonna go above 4x4 in a competition. I'm gonna stick there, and since my next competition is only 4x4. I can focus my practice only on 4x4 for when I decide to practice, which will probably not be frequently. But even like if I decide only to practice the day before, I don't have four different events to practice. I only have one, so that's good. Also, the cutoff is 1:30, which, I got a 1:33, and I can beat that probably. So I can probably get my first average on 4x4. Um, the competition is in 2023, so it will have taken like 5 years to literally complete an average of 4x4, which is stupid. But I mean, gotta do it. Gotta do what you gotta do. And this will be a monumental moment. Will I vlog it? We'll see. It is in Montreal, so maybe we can have some special guests and do some shenanigans. That could be interesting. And then since I'm only doing one event, it's not very long. Don't have to be there for like the whole day. We'll see what happens with that. But anyway, let's continue the breakdown. Ooh, time for clock, everyone's favorite event. So, clock. My last competition I went to was my first time competing in clock. Honestly, I think I learned how to solve a clock like the day before, maybe colorful pockets style. Although learned how to solve it like at the competition, I think. Anyway, it didn't go very well. I got a DNF both attempts. So, that's not great. I will show you a little preview of what happened because it's kind of stupid. It's not like I completely just failed to solve it. Um, so basically to solve the clock, you need all the arrows facing 12 on both sides. Fortunate what I ended up having was for one of my attempts, I did this. Had one of the dials one turn away, which can be solved in like 1 second. It's just kind of, you know, hard to notice that when you're trying to do it fast. I know it looks pretty obvious here, but when you're holding it and turning it and aligning it quickly, one thing is one turn away. It's hard to see. It's stupid. Literally, the judge didn't even notice it. He was gonna let it slide, but I was a good lad and admitted that it literally wasn't solved. So, yeah, that was kind of annoying. And then the second time I had misaligned my cross. Not that anyone watching this knows what that means, but essentially the cross middle section was turned like that on one side, but it wasn't on this side, and so it looked solved on this side, and I assumed it would be on the back side because I already took care of that, but apparently I had forgot to align it and it was not solved. So both times I thought I solved it, but then had made a mistake, which was quite unfortunate. However, gotta went for redemption. and the clock master returned to get a 42.98 and a 31.57. Okay. The 42.98, I was kind of nervous, I think. Um, First of all, both of these were bad scrambles. So, again, what I said with the 4x4 for my second solve, when you sort of are starting off bad and you know it's not going well, it just gets worse and you get more nervous. So, I kind of got shaky and got a 42. I think the day before the competition, I was averaging around 33, but then like right before I started competing, I was honestly averaging like 20 in the 20s, 24s, 25s, and stuff like that. So I was pretty confident. So I wasn't very confident when I got that, and I just full sent it for the next one and got a 31, which is acceptable. I mean, it's better than 42, so yeah, and it's got 57, which is bonus. What is stupid is that it did not make the cutoff because the cutoff time was 30 seconds, so I missed cutoff by 1.57 seconds and did not get to do a full average, which, I mean, it's so stupid, especially since they were bad scrambles. Because if this was a good scramble, I mean, it probably still would have been like a 30-second, but this, if it were a good scramble, like 30 on a bad scramble is probably 20 on a good scramble. Let me try and demonstrate again. New demonstration. Actually, hold on. Let's go over here and get ourselves a scramble for clock for those who want to follow along at home. Here's the scramble I'm going to be using. I'll probably speed me up scrambling because this is going to take a while. Alright, now it's scrambled and let's just see what we're dealing with. Okay, so what we immediately want to look for is we want to look at the middle one, and we want to look for any of these edges that are facing the same direction. And look, oh, we have one right here, as you can see, and this one is also one turn away. But, you know, that's basically, we have one solved and one turn away. Uh, this side we don't have. Oh, wait, this side we actually do have one here. And also these two are facing the same direction, so we could, I believe, get like 3 on this side pretty quickly, and 3 and 2 on this side pretty quickly. Now, both of the scrambles I had, from what I saw at least, there were 0 of these facing the same direction on either side. So I had nowhere to start. I had to just, you know, there was probably like one that was close, so I had to start there, and it was just stupid. Like I had nowhere to start. Like this is the first scramble I tried and it's already gave me like, you know, something to start off of. It just was unlucky and I could have done better. You know what? Let's do a solve. See how I am. See how fast this one is. I've looked at it, so the inspection is going to be a bit cheaty, but um that's that's all right. Uh let's see, gotta set up space bar, timer, timer. Okay. So yeah, we'll start on this side.
8 seconds.
Actually, we won't.
12
You know
seconds.
what? We will start on this side. Okay. Okay. So we got a 27, which I mean, it's not great, but I mean, it's, you see what I mean? If I had something to start off with, I would have had a sub 30 and I would have gone to do my full average. But I mean, at the end of the day, we got 31.57, so can we really complain about that? I guess not. So that's all for competing. I didn't make the second round for anything. 4x4 and and clock were all one round, so that's why I was in the final, because it was one round. So hopefully my times will get updated soon and I can see that them sexy lower numbers. There there are too many twos in this place. I don't need that. Get rid of them. 21. Can you do some for me? You know what I want you to do for me? I want you to leave. I want that 16, 28. There's still a 2 in that number, but it's a smaller 2, so it's all right. Uh, how much am I gonna go up in ranking? I'd say I'm probably gonna be top 2,000 for both average and single for 3x3 in Canada, so that's pretty cool, I guess. 2x2, it's hard to say. You know, I improved by like point 0.4 or 0.5, so like I imagine a bit of an improvement, but not that much. Maybe 11-11. That's my guess. 4x4, probably top 1,000 in Canada. Pretty that's pretty crazy that this time is already that close. I guess not a lot of people do 4x4. For some reason, my highest rankings are in Pyraminx and Scube, which is kind of odd, especially in Scube, because I literally used the beginner's method and I just got lucky. Like, do I still have this average? Yeah. All right, let's look at this. This is my first time doing Scube. Look at this average: 14, 20, 8, 30, 27. What is that average? It's It's an average, you know, go from 14 to 20 to 8 seconds to 30 to 27. I'm very inconsistent on Scube. I literally use the beginner's method, so it's just luck based. I haven't improved since 2018, so that's not great. I think I was learning new stuff for Scube, but then kind of stopped. Pyraminx, haven't really done anything good recently with that. One-handed. We don't talk about one-handed. I tried it once and I hated it, and I'm probably never gonna do it again. Maybe one day if I practice it and I feel like I'll just get rid of this because I don't want this number here because it's not pretty, but I don't see myself frequently competing in one-handed. I don't frequently compete in anything, but especially not one-handed because it is probably my least favorite to do myself. It's fun to watch, but it's not good. I can solve a 4x4 faster than a 3x3 one-handed. I don't know what that says about anything really. Look at this. Look at this lad. Look at this merch. Look at these. Look at these gents. What are they talking about? Who knows? Find out next week on Shark Tank.